Hey, Via here. Today I brought my own ranking of Pokemon, the champions. Well, I need to get something out of the way to make a video for myself before I get any bored. I didn't upload for the past like 6 days, so I'm starting to, make this one. I thought about it quite some time of, you know, the champions of Pokemon. This is gonna be a ranking of the besides of the opposite mystic. I'm just gonna go straight through it, just be honest with my own opinion, my own personal experience, and get a little truth on it because normally for me though, in Pokemon, as general as a whole, don't get me wrong, I love the franchise series. I thought about the champion in recent time when I keep on playing it. I just played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but Scarlet on Nintendo Switch 2, and I thought about this. So this break is going to be construed, not construed like a vague at times, because there are some Pokemon games like you try to beat it and then you try to get close to the finish line, but you never get the chance to beat the champion. Some of these champions, and I didn't get a chance to beat, and you probably gonna say why you didn't get the chance. Well, I think it's a lack of interest in overtime in the recent games. So don't get me wrong, I still have Pokemon near dear to my heart as a nostalgic. So y'all gonna voice your little opinion concerns about how I did not get the chance to like beat them. But there are champions in here that I did beat, but majority of them are forgettable, and so I'll never get the chance to. So we're gonna start off with Blue. All right, I'm gonna be honest with Blue. I know he's an icon. I know he's a fan favorite, and I know that he's supposed to be one step ahead with the player when you get the chance. But I somewhat battle him when it comes to like throughout the when you play the game in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. I played the Yellow version before, so with him with the champion, well, as your rival, you're supposed to be one step ahead. Um, I didn't get the chance to you know, beat him as a champion, but I could say this as a rival. How can I say this? He's somewhat easy to me. Really is. I'm not gonna be one of the professionals like battle strategy wise and all that when it comes to Pokemon. Like, don't give me a chance. I would do it, like learn the game mechanic and see how it goes. But this is like, I'm gonna go straight right through it and give you the honest, my opinion towards these characters and my experience. But I didn't beat him as a champion, but as a rival, when you get across him and beat him multiple times, I somewhat, as a little kid, I managed to beat him when it comes to certain mons that I have, but never finish it. So let's go to the another one with Lance. With Lance, I could have say never beaten him, but I will say this in Pokemon Let's Go. I know it's supposed to be a watered down version because it's an easy mode, and Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. You do balance him as an Elite Four member. Who knows, like you had Heart Gold and Soul Silver too as well. Didn't get a chance to like get up there, but I could say if to me when I get with Lance, he's more hit on. He's more like power on rather than strategy wise. I don't. I should say maybe focus on their mind and their team, but some some mons I just forgot about because majority of them I could just steamroll them because it's all about knowing what you need to do towards these champions in their Pokemon and how to handle it. If you don't do it, you're screwed. So if you have three Dragonites, just pop up an Ice Beam or Blizzard and you'll be fine because you know what you need to know in games. Now, Silver, I could say I give him a C. I know I didn't beat him, but I could say in the remakes they're a little bit harder, just a little bit, when you play them. I know they're supposed to be the best franchise series. I will agree it is the best franchise of the series when it comes to, Pokemon video games as a whole for the DS. I gave him a C because there are some challengeable moments of him. I didn't beat him as a champion the second game on the first one. Well, the first one, because Blue just dethroned him, he became a champion, and then Red had to come on in and sweep the floor with Blue, depending. Now, Red, there's twice I managed to beat him. Twice. I was this close. He almost got me. Red belongs up here in high S tier, a real true champion, because when I first battled him, it was in the Alola region. It's not supposed to be an A, it's supposed to be an S. I don't know why the computer acting up. In the Aloha region, when you have to choose Blue to battle or Red to battle, I chose Red to see what he's capable of as an adult. And I say, you know what? He really, I'm not gonna lie, he really did got me. Really did. And when second time, when I was battling him in the battle tree in the Alola region, but I almost lost. Thanks for me with Chandelure, where I used confusion to confuse, and then his Pokemon was hit herself by confusion. Lucky for me, I managed to sweep it. Thanks to my Chandelure helped me out, because I would have lost in that final battle. So I just got lucky because I used some status ailment towards majority of his Pokemon. Let alone, well, I had to learn, because the very first time when I was battling Red, I should have took the hint when I got into the battle tree, because you got to use your mind in a professional manner by understanding their nature, their hearing ability, their special ability, which mon can use their better move set, and typical things that help me give me a wake up call. So without that, I just able to get better the game over time, because thanks for the ballot tree, now I need to know what I need to do, because it's all about what type of Pokemon that you have to carry with you to handle with these certain circumstances of these people, well, these champions, or any other. If you do it competitively, I never did it competitively. First time I did, well, that was at one time, but that was a Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I had the Eevee version. With Eevee, I managed to win my very first battle, the very first, and I never did it again because I was carrying off topic, but sorry, I just want to spice it up just a little bit. I just have, the 3 Kanto starters. Then I have I think I might just have. Yeah, this is majority of Pidgeot, Eevee, and last but not least, I think a Gengar, and that's about it. But I use my move cooling wise. Basically, I'm trying to use it as an example of, if you go up against with these champions or anything, the champion is supposed to push you to your boundaries of your limit, so that way you could just, you feel the stress and you believe, and then you feel satisfied to overcome these obstacles, because you take in the equipment as you learn and go on with these mons that you carry through your journey as a Pokemon master. You need to know your Pokemon abilities and natures, and which one works best and which one's not work for best for certain mons. And then certain mons need to learn different pool set, just because you don't have that special type to handle them. Maybe your Pokemon maybe learn the ability of that type, like a water type Pokemon had learned a water type move, like Emboar, like Grass Knot, or Gengar learned Dazzling Gleam with a fairy type move. Certain things to help you push yourself to order to handle these circumstances ahead, to overcome your obstacles. So it's all about diversity. That's one thing I like about Pokemon. It's more diverse. Rather than focus on one simple thing, you just steamrolled it. I think I enjoy Pokemon when it's at its best, when it be more challenging to you like put yourself towards your limit. So Red, I understand, great one, and I believe that if I ever get the chance to battle Boo again, or maybe Lance, they maybe be the best ones. Maybe be the best ones. You know what I'm saying? Because it is how it is. Well, that one day I get the chance to like beat them. One day, with red, blue, and see if I could put them up higher as many people expect it to be. Because to me, and when I play video games, I don't get high expectation. I lower them down because some people like to over exaggerate characters to see they all that, but they really isn't. Sometimes it's like 50. Okay, I give it like 35% of the time. Most of the time, 75 for more of the bullshit. Like, come on now, that character really is challenging if you really think about it. So let's continue. Steve. All right. To me, Steve, I watched playthrough of him, but I never beat him. And the reason why I never beat him, it's like a lack of interest in Pokemon. It's kind of weird. Like you really want to. I played the ORAS games, and the very first time I played Hoenn was only Pokemon Emerald, but that's Wally. But we get to him when we get to him because I know I beat him. And so with Steve and Joe as a whole, my personal, people say he's very good with his defensive when it comes to his steel types and some of his mons. But overall, I say you need to learn to counter him if you don't have no status ailments like a fusion, sleep, burn, paralysis, poison. I know saying maybe poison not gonna be useful, but I did say confusion. There's probably another one, but if you know the Pokemon competitive, you already know which one be useful as Steve to handle things down and shut his team down. So I could say this: I've never beat him or her because I was this close to go to champion with the OS game. I know it's supposed to be that's easy mode, baby mode. If I play the Ruby and Sapphire one, the original Game Boy, because I played Emerald in the emulation because of where you get to Wally. But I feel like to me, when I got to there, when they had the chance, when I got to there, I was close to the Elite Four, about to be done. I think I trade all my pocket monsters and transfer it to my Pokemon home. I think Pokemon Sun and Moon, one of those two, because I was doing things in the battle tree to try to learn different mons and different typings. So take that as that I'm speaking the truth because I wish I could have beat some of the champions, like beat the whole champion. Not all the champions. There are some champions in there that I actually literally beat. And I just got lucky. I did lost it to them multiple times over and over again because of one time beating. Because it's more like type advantage, and even if I don't have the type advantage in my mind who have that, that type, and then I could just set it up and then I could just sweep their whole team. So let's move on to now Emerald, the best one in the Game Boy. Now with him, with Wally, I'm not gonna say it lie. I mean, don't get me wrong, I beat him, but it's nothing too memorable for him because it feels like majority. I could tell you this: one of my mons. I could say two, but mainly one. Sceptile literally sweep the whole thing. I'm not. If you know how that goes, you could say that's violently stupid because you probably get hit by Ice Beam and all that type of stuff. Not necessarily, because I think I'm trying to remember how I did it as a kid, because I didn't know much in how boosting your stats, stylus elements, and all that up to now. But I do know that Sceptile can literally just sweep his whole mind just because he got a whole bunch of water type. Don't get me wrong, he probably have ice type moves to shut it down. He probably have mud type moves to shut it Sceptile down. But overall, in all, it's nothing more like I could mention about the items and how they make them useful, but we have to look at the video games as a whole because I'm looking at it as two specific type of versions. One is the remake and the remaster, and sometimes the old games because probably the old games are much harder recently until Pokemon went downhill because it became less after fifth gen. Because I feel like after fifth gen, that's when things go small, get you know worse, than worse. So I'm not gonna say he's forgettable. I still remember him, but I put him in detail because it's not like he's not challenging me, like pushing me. Now, when we got AKA Cynthia. The all right. What I say previous for because people over exaggerate when it comes to these characters because of Cynthia. Now, with Cynthia, to me personally, though, I'm not gonna lie, y'all was right about her. She really is hard. So I'm gonna put her up here. She was a type of person that I put her how much higher than Red because it's more like this. She's more better than Red when it comes to her team because she got the most perfect ballot team ever. When it comes to any type of type, you could cover it up. Many people say Spiritomb over time they don't have no weakness, but that I found out a player that he used Foresight. I think he was doing using the manga characters as a Nuzlocke to put it as Pearl, but her name was Platinum, and then she used Low Bunny, used Foresight, and then used Return as a fire type move to give it that spirit too. Nobody didn't know that part how to do it because he was thinking clearly, thinking that he's thinking outside the box. We're talking about the old games. Now in the new recent games, you can use the fairy type and just literally just bitch slap spirit too out of your goddamn way. Lucky for me, thank I played the remasters of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Not Platinum, like the many people said the best version of the game. So, with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, majority of Cynthia team are Eevee Train and including the Elite Fours. But with the Elite Four, they was easy to me because I just steamrolled them. I had no choice but to do what I had to do. In some ways, I had to transfer some of my Pokemon in Brilliant. I played the Diamond version. In Brilliant Diamond, I had no choice but to get some mons in my team. I think I had Torterra. I'm trying to think. Gastrodon. Lucario. I think I had that bug type Pokemon. Um, he's like a Scorpion. I have him. Then I have. I think I have Star Ray. I have. No, I didn't have Star Radio. I think I used one of the. I'm trying to remember the Pokemon like Cynthia have, like Flying type Togekiss. Yeah, I have her have more better because that's the best option. Then I'm trying to remember my teams because it was more well balanced because Bad Did. This was before way back then. I finally beat the game past last year or 2 years ago when I finally did what I had to do to understand because Sun and Moon helped me out to understand what type matchup. Without that, I wouldn't have been mad. Now you probably say how I managed to get some of those Pokemon. Well, to be honest, I used Pokemon Home and put it in there because if you really think about it, the one thing I did not like, I understand that you're supposed to learn as you go to use the mods that you have later on. It feels like you achieve something more when you beat the champion. You can finally get the other Pokemon, and that way you can maybe just use a rematch and use the new mod. But to me personally, I don't like to be limited to the same move pool set. Not only that, you don't have like access to deal with Cynthia. Me, she almost nearly defeat me thanks to my Gastrodon. When I was getting to my Otic, Gastrodon was a walk. Myolic, her Myolic, when he used the Fire Orb and doing full restore, she used a water type move called Skull. Thanks to Gastrodon, he absorbed it and it healed it. So ever since then, I said, you know what? Let me just. I had to play the long and patient game with Cynthia because it's more like, let me just heal my mons. Three of my mons been shut down, so I had no choice but to fully heal them before I do anything whatsoever. I tried to set up and do things, but she won't allow to because when that guard chop pull out her boy, she, I guess, not guess, I mean guard chomp literally just shred the whole type of teammates if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Like he just rip you up to shreds. Like this like hell incarnate in the battlefield. But and first time being Cynthia, and I felt relieved and I felt good. It felt really good to challenge her and then push my boundary. I said, you know what? I give you props, Cynthia. You really are, truly are a good queen. Unlike most players, they always get their ass beat. I'm saying most of the time when they play Pokemon with Cynthia, when it comes to Pokemon YouTubers, they always lose to Cynthia. Not all of them, because some of them, but I see the low view YouTubers, like the PokeTubers, they manage to handle Cynthia way better than, the higher YouTubers when it comes to playthroughs of Pokemon. So, Cynthia, you're amazing. Thank you for the challenge. Thank you very much. And then she's worth the praise. So, with out of the way, we shall continue on with Alder. Okay, with Alder, I never beat him. I'm going to cut to the chase on my Power 1. And the reason why I didn't chance to beat him, because after you beat N, well, when you get the chance to go to the champion and beat the Elite Four, then beat Alder, because Pokemon we supposed to separate from Pokemon humans and la di da la di da. The point I'm trying to get to the coin, when we battled N, with N he was that challenging. Well, and let me correctify myself. Me, in my personal experience with N, I don't know many others, it was easy to me to lay waste on him because I didn't have the best team. When it comes to, I said that someone's good, maybe best. All I'm trying to say is that after you beat him, and no, it's not like you get a rematch where you gotta re-beat the Elite Four and go to Alder. I never did it. And the reason why I said that I am the champion because Endon was the champion, what's the point of doing it again? Because not only that, if I go battle with Alder, what makes the difference? It's gonna be the same possible outcome when it comes to it's more like this. If it's like this. When a person is bigger, badder than you go after that person, you beat them up, and then take their spots. And you already know that person that lost, you don't go after the person that lost because you already know you can beat that person. So go after the person who win it and you know you win. So, like, I could not say nothing more than less because I am a champion by that time. I know you gotta go up there and do it yourself, like handle it. I wish you could like do it, but I guess they change it because they're doing a midway story. But without it, it will be the best iconic moment in Pokemon Black and White because it does have the best story over arc and all when it comes to you know understanding the Pokemon their worth and their values. Let me put Cynthia right here. Sorry, Red. I posted a bit movie because like it started acting up. Sorry, these ads popping up and all that type of stuff. So let's just continue off with Iris. I beat her in what did with Pokemon Black and White 2 emulation Chinese Japanese version. I just played her out through because I should have mentioned about the mods that I used. I used the exact same mod that I played before with Black and White. The mons I actually use: Samurai, Humanitarian Crocodile, Haxorus. I managed to get Haxorus earlier. When you go to, I think that ground type tip, you gotta go to the other side. And you need a flash, and then when you get it, you can find your Axew and then trade it up. Then I Electros, the little ill one, and normally I use 4 Pokemon. Out of the out of the main 4, those are the ones that can help me carry. But I did catch it. Then I got Cofagrigus and I think the little gelatin Reginald. I wish I could have catch, Pinsir like Bishop, like certain Firemons. But at this point, opposed to Legendary, that's not my best. It could somewhat be the best team depending on which Mon abilities they have, and maybe I can sweep it. But overall, I can all it just I did what I had to do. So what is what it out is. So with Iris to me personally though, I'm not gonna try to lowball Iris, but Iris to me, I don't find it much good as she should. And everybody say what? Because I think my Mons are way better than her because I don't know. I think it's just a matter of fact I know the matchups. This is for way back before I understand. I was just blatantly just using attacks and abilities and attack. There's some items that I didn't know over time, but I don't want to lowball Iris. I don't think she's not all of that. Not only that, as much as I love Pokemon Black and White, but I don't think her team's not really invincible because a type advantage. That's about it. Because once I give Samurai Ice Beam, that's about it. So and don't forget my other mons that I called out, and then I could just use them, and it just like their abilities kick off, and I did not know at the time, and then it make it more easier for me, if that makes sense. So it sounds like, oh, you casually. Well, it's just me. I think video games to me with Pokemon, I know it's supposed to be like kids. It's supposed to be leaves like child, but once you keep on playing video games over and over and over again, you know your ins and outs and how that works. It's starting to get boring and hardly giving you much challenge because you know what you need to do. It goes to any type of video games. And I just thinking in my head, I said, all these champions, the only champion that make me more funny is only Cynthia and Red. Not only that, they just like they're more impactful, they're more memorable, and you go have your rematch again. They're not gonna be doing the exact same thing you expect to do last time because they be changing their minds too as well, and it's like more variety. At least they too can like literally like, hey, I ain't going down the very first time you try to take me down. So it is what it is. So we going on to never beat her. Sorry. To me personally though, when I watch playthrough, I feel like I could easily just beat her. I know Pokemon X and Y are supposed to be the user games of the franchise series as a whole, but it's like, whatever. Professor Kukui, D tier, because after you go to the Elite Four, you become. It's more like this. You already sit on the throne instead of him. He should be the main one sitting on the throne, but you sit in instead because, oh, I'm the champion. After you do what you have to do, it's supposed to be like they scrap the idea of Professor Oak when you're supposed to battle him and give it to Professor Kukui to like bring it back. But when you find out about his minds, is his mind really that useful? So embarrassment. Now, how to me he never was a champion. Somebody literally said I was looking at champion things on YouTube and said how supposed to be the main one, supposed to be there when he challenged the Elite Four, beat them. He tried to come to you when you, as your own avatar, became a champion of that region. He, to be honest, I already beat Hal And now I'm not gonna say he's forgettable. I put him in D tier because it's like he's not he's not champion material. He's one of your best friend, like a cool friend, like you could just chill out with, and then you could just smoke weed with. Like then I got high. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, he could, yeah, maybe he could put up a challenge depending on it. But vastly, he's not like he's supposed to be a laid back, chill guy, have his mind, and to chill out with nature. Oh, aloha. Like I don't know why they try to make him as a champion as it is. That's what they said. But I don't know why I put him in. I should have kicked him out. If anybody suggested what about how there should be other champions, but are they really champions after you rebeat, you know, the Elite Force over and over and over again? And then you got different people coming up trying to dethrone you as a champion, but really though they don't provide you as much challenge as you should to push you to dethrone you off of being the champion. So take that as you will, because eh, and now Leon, Leon. Many people okay, the Leon to me, well, Leon, I'm sorry y'all, but this is how I feel towards him. Y'all gonna come at my neck, but Leon ain't challenging. When we got to shows here with Gowan, I managed to sweep out his three teams. Personal experience, but I messed up on one moveset. That's when he starts sweeping my team if I was not careful. But overall, in all, I don't get why people say he's dangerous. You could say maybe his mind is Pokemon team, but I somewhat forgot it's his team because majority of the I don't know, I think like recent of the Pokemon game, people forget after fifth gen these Pokemon games became easier afterwards. I know I made me a Pokemon tier list. Like I enjoyed the original Pokemon games. I enjoyed Black and White. I enjoyed Sun and Moon. And then I said the original Pokemon. I said first gen and second gen. Out of the main four, those are the most funnest to me. Even if it was hard and difficult at times because I didn't know any better as a kid. When I got older, I got better. So with Leon, to me, he's not quite challenging. I'm sorry. He isn't at all. It's not because I'm looking. I'm trying to remember his one. He got Aegislash, he got Charizard, he got Haxorus. Then he had that Ghost type Dragon. I already deal with that. I don't know. It just feels like is it me or I'm not the only person thinking like this because it feels like through my Pokemon journey, I play every single region, and then I don't know why I keep on doing it. I just want to see how it goes. But I feel like I I love Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but I get exhausted over time and it feels like to me it's like it's ruthless. Not ruthless, but let me scratch that ruthless out. It's more like boring. Starting to get boring. I know it entertained me over time to keep me sweat. And I really didn't much care about Leon character as much as should because I was speed rolling this game because the only Pokemon game I really care about is only mainly three. That was like the original Pokemon. Well, four though. Out of the main four I said though, I care about them more because at least they're good with a story. Somewhat. I understand it's supposed to be like not good much, but only best Pokemon game who had the best story is only Black and White, and that's about it. But I really don't care about Leon like that. He's just weak to me. In Arrival, for Let's Go, forgettable. He really was forgettable because I can't remember. There's nothing much to say. He's just forgettable. Alright, post edit video about Valo. Um, in the tier list, I was wondering, well, ranking pretty much. Let me clarify the ranking of the champion. Vile should not be in there specifically as a whole. He's more like a final boss in Legend Arceus because you gotta look at back in the time. There was no gym battles, no Elite Fours. It was just there trying to cap do cosmic level tried to end the world pretty much as like I forgot the name of the dude, that bland, boring dude who was trying to end the world and all that type of stuff. So he should not be technically be there. It's supposed to be the ranking of champions. So I'm gonna put him where he need to be at because at this point the video has been done anyway. Though by the time you can finish it yourself. So yeah, there's that. Varlo to me, it's just Cynthia 2.0, but he's annoying. Cynthia, the thing about Cynthia, she never was annoying to begin with. Vivalo, he was a really pain in my ass because it's like he had the exact same on like Cynthia did. Not really posing legendly, I don't think so, because he don't have no guard chart. He had one of them. You know what I'm talking about. You know his team knows team, but it get annoying to the point where I put it down to B because it got annoying. The reason why I got annoyed because August he spent. It's one of those games you take two turns. I know it's supposed to be turn-based strategy. You're supposed to him go like you go, I go, you go, I go. But there's a point where it drag on for so damn long. I know you could say Cynthia at least one thing. If you don't have mods that like stall or something like that, make it more fun, you'll be fine. But Valo, it to me, it's like he's annoying. I could, you know what? As much as I said, he just Cynthia 2.0, but he took out Garchomp in a way. I'm trying to think anymore with Valo because with Valo to me, it was like he's okay, but he's annoying at times. It is that I think I hate the fact that you he spent. It's going normal with other Pokemon. The wild Pokemons can do it. The trainers can do it. Like they take two of your turns, and it doesn't make no damn sense. Even if the speed stat is irrelevant in that game with larger Arceus, somebody could come at my neck. No speed stat. Okay, if it really was matter, then how come that person get two licks on my ass or more than licks? More than three licks. Sacks. Yeah, like five. I literally got five licks that I didn't give even a turn, even though my mom was faster than that shit. Like, hello? But let's move on. I forgot her name for Pokemon Scarlet Violet. Her forgettable needs to say, yeah, forgettable at this time. Let me just put it right there. Forgettable. Yeah, forgettable because I don't know. It's just sorry going up and down. I'm trying to because these ads are fucking blocking my way. Forgettable. I forgot her name, but I'm not gonna say forgettable. Here's the thing about her. I'm trying to think. I don't want to be like that's her sister. She's forgettable. She's forgettable too as well. I don't understand how a good character as much as she should. I just skipped. After that, I was done with it. Pokemon games because of that. I just want to see what new game mechanics would they introduce in the game. Pokemon is matter because of the game features and game mechanic wise. So, as a champion, if she really is a good champion, like if she really, yeah, I could say rematch her, but if I did rematch her, I still would stomp her ass on the ground. Like, I could give her D for now. That's what I personally did. Now we have this dude. All right, this the one thing I do not like about this character is I don't know how many people feel towards him, but I forgot his name. Forgive me if I don't remember these characters' name as much as a whole, because over time they became irrelevant because some of the characters not fully fresh out and developed. But I'm looking at how he is. He really is not that hard as when you deal with his tag team. Because the way I deal with it, because my mind was more, I got certain minds out of my Sun and Moon and transfer into it. And not only that, when I got the Indigo disc and all that, it was just like I have better minds overall. Like Greninja with, you're supposed to have Access Ninja with Battle Bond. I don't know why they nerfed the. I don't know, understand that. I just don't get it. Like, I understand this Greninja is very powerful. I get it, but damn, like, you don't have to do that to my ninja like that. So, the team that I had with him was Greninja, Goodra. I think I had one of the Gallons mons. I'm trying to remember it. I have Chandelure, one of my Pokemon Sun and Moon when I did with Red, when he was an adult. Then, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember. Like, these are the mons that I used previously before I carried other mons to handle certain mons. I could use the power there. Either way, it doesn't matter because when it comes to, like, strategy wise, I know certain mons are supposed to be different from other mons because they're better mons can deal with certain, if his team, like tag team, you're supposed to get used to it. After that, when you try to get used to the mons, it's supposed to be team based strategy. You're supposed to say, let me set up this move so that my other mod can do something like crazy, or let me use this mod just in case he can help this mod, like support role. But I never did like no miracle, no light screen, no none of that team mess. I was just focused on, ill stats, like burn and confusion and stuff like stuff that can actually help him. But with him, I'm looking at it as a gender as a whole. He's not that good as much as he should. Now, as a character, he was like complaining little whiny little bitch. I'm sorry, like he literally is a bitch because after he got jealous of our avatar, like the main character, he was just 10 times better than him in every single way when it comes to his mind and how he do things. It just more like he became like the first time you meet him, everybody was kind of picking on him, and then he believed he beat everybody. You know, the one thing, one of the Elite Fours and the Fairy type beat me because I had the type disadvantage because I used the same mon, as I mentioned before. But they could put up a challenge and all that type of stuff. But with him, how in the world did he manage to beat them? And he tag teamed, like literally tag teamed me with two of his mons. I expect him to be more. That's why I changed my team and move around just in case what he had. Because he probably used the exact same model that he had where when you go to the mass tail mass and then when you get to Indigo this, he might have some tail mass mons that he has to use. No, not he does have it, but not necessarily. It's just more like, dude, you weakened was before. Even when we go to the final battle, when we get to that own little crystal dude, he still became a little bitch afterwards. Like, this is the one bitch ass characters. Literally a little bitch. He's whining to complain. He wanted to beat us. Like, I get the motivation. He trying to be better. I understand. Like, he was maybe his sister pushed him over the edge. You know what I'm saying? To treat him like trash. I get that. I get what the writers try to do. But to me, it feels like he's annoying. He's annoying. Like, really annoying. And the sister is annoying too as well. I feel like they both annoying. They're just like dead weight. Like, I understand they're supposed to be best friends. I feel like these the Pokemon games, it feel like, I know I keep saying it. It became easy mode, like baby mode. So what I do, I rank him. D. Because it takes some poise out. I know it's supposed to be like, I'm trying to rank them as, how good they are when it comes to their mons, how their special ability works, how they move them, how threatening they can be, and how could, like, they push me to the limit to understand what they're doing. But out of the many of them, it felt like these are D tiers are light works. C tier, I gave him a chance, even though I didn't beat him, but I somewhat see some powerful potential. Forget them, never beat them because it's just a matter of fact I did thoroughly. I was playing the game, but I didn't get the chance to get to them and finish them off where I had the chance. And the ones, the forgettable ones, that just like they no substance. Like they don't have no slap your mama season onto them. Like, wow, okay, okay, not like Cynthia or Red. So I hope you guys really do enjoy the video. Leave a like, subscribe for random stuff like this. And I'm sorry for, not explaining much of shit as I repeat myself over a little bit because it's more like I'm trying to give full depth analysis towards the characters, how I feel towards them through my Pokemon journey, my opinion, my own truth, and my experience by playing these games. I really do love the franchise as a whole. It's just that after fifth gen, that's when things went downhill because it feels like I could play the Pokemon games. No, my bad. I'm sorry, my nose. Ugh. I could be like the champion. I do tournaments and all that. Maybe live stream and do that. Maybe I get more challenging. But I don't want to do that and all that type of stuff because I'm one of the type of person that's play the game, have fun, enjoy it. Get the personal experience for myself. But until further notice, y'all stay blessed, y'all. Until further notice, yeah. Bye, y'all.